between continents, if you need to ship goods across America, chances are it'll be by road. But with over 6 million kilometers of roadway, driving across the states demands one seriously heavy-duty vehicle. One of the most famous names in trucking combines brilliant engineering with classic design. So, how do they do it? It's a hot afternoon in South Dakota, and trucker Dave McDaniel is 4 hours out of Sioux Falls at the start of a 2,000-kilometer journey to Spokane, Washington.
Oh, driving a truck is just a nice way of life. You don't have a boss looking over your shoulder all the time. I generally put on 600 to 700 miles a day, and over all the years I've got 3,250,000 total miles actually. So
when he's not driving, Dave's truck is also a home in which he lives, eats and sleeps for days at a stretch.
the truck is your home away from home. I've got a TV and a refrigerator so I can eat in there and relax, and I guess about everything I have is in the truck most of the time.
As far as Dave's concerned, there's only one truck that's up to the job, and that's a Peterbilt. Peterbilt trucks have become an American icon. They make up to 50,000 a year and enjoy a near legendary status within the trucking community. With their huge upright cabs decorated with lavish chrome, these vehicles are not just functional, they're automotive works of sculpture. But their status with the trucking community comes not just from the fact that they're well built, but that amazingly, the design of every single one can be customized to the driver's exact specification. So while Dave heads up the highway towards Washington, we're heading for Denton, Texas. Here, on the outskirts of the city, is the Peterbilt factory, and driver Greg Wilmoth has come in search of his ultimate truck.
I want a 475 horse motor, 355 rear ends, 63-inch stand-up sleeper, and I want it in maroon.
No problem. Because despite each vehicle being unique, they're all produced on exactly the same production line and can be manufactured in less than 24 hours. Greg's vehicle will be a customized Model 389. This classic, traditionally styled truck can be adapted with a variety of transmission systems, axles, suspensions, and strength-to-weight requirements, while the cab itself can be fitted with living quarters and a sleeper section. The construction begins with the chassis. This will need to cope with not just 8 tons of truck, but also the load, so it's precision manufactured from steel and uses a 3-piece 20-bolt cross member for extra durability. Like a spine, it also carries the nerves of the vehicle, in this case 90 meters of air pipes and over 600 meters of cable. As each chassis is constructed, the workstation it's mounted on constantly crawls forward, so the guys on the line need to work quickly and methodically to ensure each one is completed before it moves on to the next stage. While the chassis is being worked on, the cabs are simultaneously assembled on another line. They're constructed from lightweight aluminium, and it's down to Jerry Hendricks to join all the sections together using fixings known as hub bolts.
I am assembling the cab, building the cab. We put a couple of hub bolts and we hook it together.
Jerry gets through upwards of 1,000 of these hub bolts as he constructs each cab. Their design means that with one simple action, the bolt tightens to an even tension before the screw is sliced off. Working steadily on cab after cab, Jerry can assemble the entire housing in less than 8 minutes. But while hub bolts are ideal for the cab, for the rest of the assembly, they need to fit thousands of regular bolts. The trouble is, if these bolts are fitted too tightly, the threads will shear. On the other hand, if they're too loose, the truck will fall apart. So it's time to bring on the DC Torquer. Unlike a standard wrench, the DC Torquer is able to tighten every single bolt to exactly the same tension, which means assembler Tony Grewing Jr. can achieve perfection every time.
Very simple to use.
Stick it on, spin it. Whenever it reaches its torque, you stop.
And it's just as well Tony has the help of a clever tool, because there are over 3,000 bolts to be fitted into every truck. Back on the chassis assembly line, they've been working on the main frame for 6 hours. But now they're faced with a weighty problem. In order to fit the engine, the heavy steel frame needs to be turned over. So, like a monstrous pancake, it's flipped over by this huge pneumatic machine and carefully repositioned onto the production line. Traditionally, the heart of every Peterbilt truck is its diesel engine. But more recently, the company have also been developing hybrid electric vehicles for long-haul applications. But whilst the engine is bolted into place, the cab and other metalwork are ready for a lick of paint. To ensure it's completely flawless, the factory employs a team of robotic Picassos. With a dexterity to be envied by even the finest artisan, the robots evenly coat every surface with precisely 0.08 of a millimetre of paint. Not a drop more, not a drop less. With the cab and chassis complete, it's time for the truck to be assembled. But to keep the client's new trucks rolling off the line, it's crucial all the sections are ready to be installed exactly when needed. The factory floor only has room for the components needed for one day's production. So it's up to forklift drivers like Tracy Sherman to make sure everything is delivered on time, to prevent the entire production line from grinding to a halt.
There's a lot of material that moves in and out of here. Every day it's fast-paced, basically. So timing is of the essence. We have to make sure they're at the proper place to be installed at the proper time with each particular unit.
After just 16 hours, Greg's maroon masterpiece is nearly complete. Providing everything has gone according to plan, this customized vehicle will be Greg's fantasy truck made real.
That's exactly what I ordered.
Back on the road, Dave McDaniels has clocked up another 500 kilometers, and it's time for him to find a truck stop and call it a day. And thanks to his home-from-home Peterbilt truck, he can bed down for the night in his very own custom-built dream machine.